Behind closed doors, Rep. Jasmine Crockett read one name aloud and in just 36 seconds, the First Lady reportedly broke composure. What Melania Trump was hiding might not just be personal, it could be national. It began late at night. 11:27 p.m. Jasmine had just left a tense interview on Capitol Hill about cyber intrusions linked to White House staff. In the back of a black Escalade, scrolling through encrypted emails, a flagged message appeared. Subject line: "They lied about the First Lady's trips. Check the logs." The sender: just a string of random characters and a secure Swiss domain. Normally, she delete it, but something about the specificity a broken bar the timing a broken bar made her pause. No text, just a zip file, ftl_restricted_access_logs_01, and one line: "If you read this, you'll understand why I had to stay anonymous. The name you're looking for appears 4 times. Begin with Brussels." She didn't open it until she was back home in Arlington. Even then, she hesitated. Could be a setup, a deep fake, a trap. But it wasn't. The files were raw internal exports, a White House scheduling data, down to the minute. Jasmine had seen something like it only once, heavily redacted. These, clean, uncensored, flight manifests, accommodation details, staff lists, payment trails, and then one unusual column, unscheduled liaison, cross-refer ID, 4 entries, one name repeated: Dragan Petrovich. He wasn't staff, not culinary, no diplomatic, not Secret Service, and every time his name appeared, the logs got fuzzy, thinner, missing. She hit speed dial. "Julius," she said, "I need our cyber guy." Quietly, "I need to know if this is real." Even as she said it, she already knew. The logs tracked 4 solo international trips taken by Melania Trump over 6 months, none of which made headlines. Brussels, Prague, Geneva, Berlin, every city linked to either illicit art sales or back-channel diplomatic dealings Jasmine had just been briefed on last month. This wasn't coincidence. By morning, Julius had confirmation. The data was legitimate, but how it was leaked and by whom was still a mystery. This wasn't some low-level whistleblower. Whoever sent this had access only a few dozen people nationwide could claim. This was targeted, deliberate. For 3 days, Jasmine didn't sleep. Post-its covered her apartment walls, timelines, trip overlays, surveillance blackouts, European headlines, a museum heist in Prague, a frozen account in Geneva, a meeting in Munich between an art broker and a sanctioned ex-minister, and Dragan Petrovich always in the periphery. By night 3, she knew she had 2 options: walk away, or bring it to the Oversight Subcommittee on White House Security Breaches. She chose the fire. Folder locked in a black leather case, she skipped her staff car and used the rideshare under a decoy name, just like her old NSA contact had taught her. The townhouse in Bethesda was dark. One porch light flashed on, off, then on again. She knocked twice, then once more. "Still paranoid?" came the voice from the kitchen. "Not paranoid," Jasmine replied. "Alive." Rufus Kane, ex-NSA, now a contractor ghost. He owed her and he hated secrets that endangered people. He opened the folder, saw the name Petrovich, and immediately stepped back. "This shouldn't exist," he muttered. "I didn't pull it," Jasmine said. "It found me." Rufus plugged in. 10 minutes later, he confirmed it. Deep access logs, deeper than Secret Service access, pulled from the White House server 12 days ago, rerouted through 4 anonymous tunnels before landing in Jasmine's inbox. "Someone inside is bleeding this intentionally," he said, "and not carefully." "I traced the leak to a terminal in the Eisenhower Executive Office building, a feet from the West Wing, someone right under their nose," Jasmine said. "If he's been meeting with her off-book, during arms negotiations, this isn't just a scandal, it's a breach." A pause. Then Jasmine: "I'm asking about this in the hearing next week." "You're insane." "Maybe, but silence helps no one." Rufus followed her to the door. "Watch your back." Too late. The oversight hearing began at 2 p.m. sharp. Room 2172, Rayburn House Office Building. No cameras, no press, just high-clearance lawmakers and 2 White House liaisons. Jasmine sat third chair from the left, her folder zipped. untouched. Rep. Lowell Nash opened with formality. We're here to address security protocol inconsistencies regarding executive travel. Representative Crockett, he said, you have the floor. Jasmine didn't rise. I appreciate it, Mr. Chairman. My concerns center on a pattern, not a single breach. While reviewing logs tied to the First Lady's travel, I found several unscheduled events where Secret Service records were inconsistent, and a civilian name repeatedly appeared. She looked up. Dragan Petrovic, 4 entries, Brussels, Prague, Geneva, Berlin, off-calendar, unaccounted for, in the same vicinity as the First Lady with no clearance. A soft scoff came from Howard Steele, a fellow committee member. We're chasing gossip now? He said. This isn't gossip, Jasmine replied. It's data. She slid the folder forward. These logs show off-grid meetings, matching cell tower pings, hotel receipts, surveillance gaps. If someone with the flagged Interpol profile is shadowing the First Lady, we should ask why. A liaison leaned into the mic. This line of questioning wasn't pre-approved. Neither were the breaches. Jasmine shot back. You're admitting to using leaked documents? I'm admitting I confirmed their accuracy. The room fell still. Then she said it at the name, aloud. Dragan Petrovic. Not staff, not cleared, but in proximity to the First Lady on 4 separate occasions, during trips involving sensitive diplomacy. What Jasmine didn't know, Melania Trump was watching from a secured stream inside the East Wing, at 2:46 p.m. The moment Jasmine spoke Petrovic's name, Melania stood so suddenly she knocked over a glass of water. A nearby aide saw her disappear behind a private hallway door. The stream shut off seconds later. Inside the hearing, Rep. Nash tapped his pen. This session is now under restricted legal review. All White House observers, please exit. Once the doors shut, Nash turned to Jasmine. Do you understand what you may have just opened? I understand the risk, she replied, but the greater risk is ignoring what these patterns reveal. Rep. Steele slid a memo across the table, rewritten by the East Wing, claiming no knowledge of Petrovic. Jasmine didn't flinch, then explained the hotel receipts, the shared cell tower data, the scrubbed surveillance footage. Why did he check into the same hotels, during the same windows, if they've never met? You're dancing on the edge of slander, Steele muttered. I'm pulling a thread, Jasmine said, and if that thread unravels national security, we have a right to see it. Nash finally nodded. Proceed. Quietly, internally. But outside the chamber, the fallout had already begun. The East Wing went dark, internal communications frozen, staffers told to disable personal devices. A junior press aide later described it as like someone pulled the plug on the whole floor. Meanwhile, Jasmine's phone buzzed. A voice memo from Rufus. Greater than I backtracked the leak. Whoever sent it didn't just work in the Albay, they had East Wing passcode access. Jasmine, a broken bar that puts them within 10 feet of the First Lady's private office. And Petrovic, he was flagged by DHS last year, stopped in Miami, but they released him and no formal processing. The file was scrubbed. That doesn't happen without presidential-level intervention. Be careful, you're not working with fiction, you're working with rot. By 5 p.m., Jasmine was back in her office. Her chief of staff, Lionel, stood waiting. They're calling you reckless, floating ethics violations. White House just went on background saying your claims are slander. Good, Jasmine said, calmly. That means it hit something real. There's more, Lionel said. Someone from Thea. His sentence cut off as Jasmine's phone buzzed again. The second dump had just arrived, and this time, Petrovic wasn't the only name on it. The new file came in just after 5:12 p.m. Same secure delivery path, same encryption wrapper. But this time, the subject line didn't whisper. Level 2A witness proximity logs. This isn't just Petrovic. Jasmine opened it on her office's secure offline tablet, the one she only used for intelligence briefings. Lionel hovered behind her, anxious. The file contained more logs, not just travel, but visitor clearance lists, internal White House Wi-Fi pings, and something that stopped her breath cold, transcript fragments. The new name highlighted in red, Sasha Valenková. Who the hell is that? Lionel asked. Rufus's name popped up on her screen again at this time, a live signal ping. She answered. You see her? Rufus asked. Voice tight. Just did. Who was she? Former Russian cultural attaché told the copyright popped up in Berlin last year under a diplomatic cover. She's also Petrovich's half-sister. Their family's been linked to a dormant shell company, something that funneled cash during the Hermitage heists 5 years ago. The art thefts, Jasmine said, sitting forward. Exactly. But here's what's worse. The system that tracks foreign national access to the residence. Vankova pinged it from inside the East Wing, twice, 3 months apart, 2 different aliases. Jasmine flipped to the relevant log. Alias 1, Anna Sofia Romas, guest of FLOTUS. Alias 2, Julia Salenko, staff art consultant, unpaid. Both cleared through a secondary checkpoint without full background scans. Jesus, Lionel muttered. Who's clearing these? Jasmine asked. That's just it, Rufus replied. They're using a blind spot, a specific override in the residence guest protocol, written in 2017. You'll never guess who helped draft it. Don't say it. I'm saying it. Jared Kushner. Jasmine stood and walked to the window. It was nearly dusk now, the Capitol's dome glinting gold. The deeper she got, the less this looked like recklessness or carelessness. This was infrastructure, a pipeline, and at the center not Trump himself, not the DOD, but the First Lady. Lionel spoke again. There's movement on the Hill. Someone's leaking what you said in the hearing. Let them. Jasmine said. They can spin this any way they want. I'll stand by the documents. He hesitated. You may not get another hearing, then I'll get a microphone. Meanwhile, inside the White House, Melania Trump sat silent in the treaty room, doors locked, blinds drawn. 2 men stood at her side, General Emmett Stroll, Director of National Security Protocols, and Tobias Eckhart, White House Legal Counsel. A monitor showed still frames from Jasmine's hearing. No audio, just expressions, reactions, a timestamp when her name was said aloud. Stroll's voice was a low growl. You told us this man was nothing. Melania didn't respond. Now he's tied to 4 meetings, multiple shell entities, and a woman who breached East Wing security under 2 aliases. Melania's eyes didn't leave the monitor. Dragan is loyal, she said finally. To whom? Eckhart asked. Melania turned slowly. He's loyal to Balance, and Balance has been gone from this place for a very long time. The men stared at her, unsure if they were talking to the First Lady, a broken bar, or something else. Back on the Hill. That night, Jasmine met again with Rufus. This time, not in a townhouse but in a basement print shop beneath a shuttered bookstore in Georgetown, where Rufus ran signals through an air-gapped rig. He'd finished decrypting a subfolder from the second dump. It was titled, Aurora_Garden_1 be greater than Vankova greater than audio snips greater than flagged entries. He clicked on one. Jasmine heard faint voices, filtered, shaky, but clear enough. A man speaking English with a faint Serbian accent. He says the painting is a key, that it unlocks placement, not storage. They must move before G7. Then a woman, fluent, smooth, Russian-laced English. I told her, but she said Jasmine Crockett is the problem now. She won't stay quiet. Jasmine froze. Lionel looked at her, stunned. They said your name. By morning, the news had shifted. A trusted DC outlet ran the headline. Whistleblower leak may tie First Lady to untracked diplomatic channels. Subheadline, Rep. Jasmine Crockett uncovers pattern of meetings linked to sanctioned nationals. The White House fired back hard. A press conference at 9 a.m. sharp. Melania didn't appear, but the spokesperson read a carefully worded statement. Greater than this First Lady has not, and will not, engage in any activities that compromise the security of this nation. Allegations presented without verified context are both defamatory and dangerous. But it was too late. By noon, 3 foreign embassies requested clarification on classified art deals made during G7 week. NATO quietly requested a closed-door briefing. 2 congressional Republicans privately texted Jasmine's office asking to review the sealed log dump. The story was no longer speculation, it was combustion. In her office, Jasmine stared at her phone. Another message from Rufus. This isn't about art. It's about positioning. Petrovich isn't a smuggler. He's an extractor. He gets people and intel in and out. The First Lady may be his courier or his client." Jasmine scrolled down. The message ended with one more chilling line. "If they knew you had these files as a broken bar, they'd have moved against you already." Which means they don't know what else you're sitting on yet. She looked at Lionel. "We need to move first." "Where?" Jasmine closed the folder. "To the only room left where truth might still matter." Cut to a darkened intelligence briefing room. 2 empty chairs, 1 screen, and on it, the name of a third operative just decrypted from the new batch. Not Petrovich, not Valnkova, but someone inside the White House. Codename, Elderroot. And next to that codename, proximity match, Melania Trump. 11 confirmed interactions, 1 authorized signature. Jasmine stared. This wasn't the end, it was the beginning. It started as a whisper in an encrypted metadata string, 11 characters, no signature, no server ID, just a codename, Elderroot. Rufus had spotted it at 3:14 a.m. He called Jasmine immediately. "Greater than I don't think we're looking at a person," he said. "I think we're looking at a protocol." Jasmine Crockett sat in silence, staring at the paused footage of Melania Trump walking alone into the treaty room 2 years ago. The door shut behind her, the audio feed cut, lugs vanished. "Greater than whatever it is," Jasmine said slowly. "Melania knows how to use it." 48 hours later, a basement conference room in the Capitol. The fluorescent lights buzzed. The air conditioning rattled like a dying engine. Only 3 people were present: Jasmine Crockett, Senator Fiona Delacourt, and a man from the National Archives with more clearance than the vice president. He slid the file across the table. "Elderroot Protocol," he said flatly. "Originally drafted under Executive Order 13,489. Amended in 2018 under a special classification tier known only to the Executive Office and the Chief of Staff." Jasmine opened it. Her eyes flicked over keywords: autonomous record management suspension, emergency diplomatic compartmentalization, personal archival evasion, non-standard continuity bypass. In plain English, Elderroot gave one person and one person only the power to erase, encrypt, and reroute official government records in real time. Senator Delacourt leaned forward. "Who activated it?" The archivist didn't blink. "According to the metadata, the First Lady." February 4, 2021, 2 weeks after Trump left office. Jasmine's blood went cold. She wasn't even First Lady anymore. She was still inside, Delacourt said darkly. Meanwhile, Zurich, Switzerland, a secure private room in the Hotel Eden, marble floors, floor-to-ceiling windows. Inside, Dragan Petrovic, the man who once ran counterintelligence for Serbia, now a ghost paid not in money, but in favors. He opens the flash drive with a biometric seal. One file, Elderroot log_7XR. He reads for exactly 32 seconds. Then he places a single call. Move the asset. DC is compromised. Initiate fallback route through Istanbul. A woman answers. Cool. Professional. Confirmed. What about Melania? She will come to us. The walls are closing, and she still believes she controls the board. Back in DCA, a storm is building. Jasmine meets privately with Rufus in an underground cafe near Judiciary Square. He's pale, sweating. He hasn't slept. "I found a name," he says. "A courier." He slides his phone across the table. "Lacey Venner." 32, staff coordinator in the East Wing, graduated magna cum laude from Georgetown, no criminal record, no red flags, except one. Her digital fingerprint appears in the logs of 8 Elderroot entries. Every time she was logged into the internal scheduling system 90 seconds before Melania triggered the protocol. She's not just a pawn, Rufus says, she's the one carrying the pieces. Jasmine frowns. Then we find her. But they're already too late. That night, Lacey Vanner boards a private charter jet from Reagan National. Manifest lists her as a corporate liaison for Melarix Holdings. Destination: Prague. She carries a small silver case, temperature regulated. Inside, 2 SD cards, one labeled Grace Note 01, the other, Full Asset, D.T./NIAC. Daybreak. Jasmine stands outside the Library of Congress. A new file from Rufus has arrived, audio only, pulled from a leaked diplomatic channel monitored by a Nordic cybersecurity firm. She presses play. Greater than this is a courtesy call. We know Elderroot is active again. If it leaks, alliances fall, treaties unravel. You're playing with architecture far older than your constitution. The voice is German, calm, deep, possibly B&D, greater than control your storm, Miss Crockett, or the world will find out that America has shadows even darker than ours. The audio cuts. Jasmine stares out at the Capitol dome, gleaming in the morning sun, and for the first time since this began, she feels genuinely afraid. At that same moment, inside a windowless TC suit at a broken bar, Melania Trump finishes dressing. Her aide enters. "Ma'am, we've been contacted. Someone traced Elderroot back to Zurich. They know about the channel." Melania doesn't turn, just adjusts her cufflinks. "I told you this day would come. And what shall we do?" Melania exhales, cold and calm. "We accelerate." End of part 3. Would you like part 4 to open with Jasmine confronting a captured Lacey on foreign soil? A secret meeting between Jasmine and Melania in a closed-door setting? Or the international intelligence community issuing a warning or ultimatum?